Welcome to another episode of the And Now I Know podcast. I'm your host, 32 Flavors, and I'm here to inspire you to live life at your fullest potential. If you're looking for a podcast that's going to inspire you to chase your dreams, motivate you to get up each and every day, be sure to hit that subscribe button if you're watching on YouTube right now. And if you're listening to the audio version on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, you name it, be sure to hit that follow button and don't forget to download all the episodes, okay? Because I'm trying to grow and build this thing and touch as many people as God called me to, right? So welcome back to episode 7. I know a lot of y'all were like, where are you at, 32? You missed last week. Listen, I just had to take a week off. I had so much going on, new blessings, new opportunities, just new things presented itself over the past week. And I just wanted to film with a clear mind, a sound mind. And I feel like when you got so much going on, it's important to take time to yourself, right? And so I could have used pre-recorded content, but I'm like, nah, I want to keep it going because I love how things are flowing right now, right? And so this is another obviously solo episode. So welcome back if you are returning, and if you are new here, hello, I am 32 Flavors. And if you want to get to know a little bit more about me, be sure to check me out on Instagram at 32 Flavors, TikTok at 32 Flavors. And yeah, so let's dive right into it. This episode, the topic of today is called Out with the Old, In with the New. Now, how many of you guys are currently in a season in which you are focusing on self-growth, self-development? You're trying to become the best version of yourself. And I guess I shouldn't really say how many of you guys are in a season or a period, because I do believe that growth should be everlasting. I feel like we should never stop working on self-improvement and self-development, you know? But if you are currently locked in right now on your dreams, your goals, just becoming the best version of yourself, this is the episode for you, because I too am in that season, or I am focusing on growing and growth and evolving right now and just becoming the person that God called me to. So I'm excited to get into this, right? So I'll be discussing the different stages of growth, and I will be trying to give you tips on how to navigate this whole thing, because growing and evolving, it can be tough. I mean, it's very rewarding and it makes you feel good in the inside, but the way that when you change, the things around you change, and that can kind of be a little bit difficult depending on the person that you are, you know. And I think when I say the person that you are, honestly, I feel like it could be difficult for everybody. So stay tuned to the very end, right? Watch to the very end. And yeah, you'll hear a lot from me about how I feel about growth and just navigating this thing. So first, let's talk about the moment that you decide it's time to take actions toward growth. Okay, for myself, it was if you watch my first or second episode, I talked about that cherry on top moment. I had ended a relationship. I decided to go into therapy, and with therapy, I know that I wanted to start working on a consistent relationship with God, right? I've always had God within me, but he wasn't the priority, right? And so when you building your connection with God and you building and doing the inner work via therapy, right? It all just blossoms and makes you flourish into this whole new person, this whole new being, right? So, for you, it could have been maybe a tragic loss that made you want to start growing and evolving and making change towards the better. It could have been maybe you lost a loved one, going to jail, ending a friendship, marriage, relationship. The list can go on and on, but there comes a point where you're like, you know what, I'm done. I want better for myself. And it's not that I was out here, you know, wilding out. Some of you might have been wilding out, but for me, I always knew that God called us to live amazing lives. And when I say amazing, that don't mean that bad things won't happen, but I know that God didn't want me to be unhappy in my relationships, in my friendships, in the way I was living within myself, you know, inside. And so I just wanted to do the work, and I've been committed for the past, at this point, it's been 2.5 years. I just finished and graduated therapy, y'all, and I might bounce in and out from time to time, but at this point, I feel like I'm at a place of peace, and I'm able to regulate my emotions, and I'm just in a good space right now. So for you, you could be working on growing right now, or you could be at the end of your therapy journey. I don't know what place that you are right now, but I just want to dive deep into that, because nobody talks about the pain, and when you change, your surroundings change, right? The people that you hang around change. The places that you want to be change. The way you talk, the way you walk, everything just changes. And for some people, it's faster than others, right? And that could be a huge, adjustment to make. So the first step for me, like I said, was therapy. And with therapy, I wanted to get a consistent connection with God, right? Like I said, I've always had God within my life. Every now and then I would go to church, and when I was younger, I went to private school, so I felt like I always had God within me. But me deciding to do my own thing, not really listening, not really focusing on hearing or paying attention to what God wanted for me in my life. I don't know, like it just came a point where I'm like, I'm ready to just do better. Okay. So I always had a feeling that I was put on this earth to do more. I will always tell my mom, I'm going to be somebody. I'm going to be somebody. And with God and with therapy going hand in hand or working hand in hand, I realized that something inside of me was changing. It's like my taste buds for a lot of things started changing. So think of a young kid and their vegetables, right? When you're younger, I just can think about all the things that I did not eat when I was a kid. But now that I'm an adult, I feed myself the things, even if I don't like the taste of it, I do it for the health benefits, right? So I kind of think of that when it comes to growing and evolving. Sometimes you just start doing things that maybe you don't really want to do for real, or that you don't want to have the discipline for, but you just decide that you have to do this in order to become the person that God called you to be, right? So when I started changing, a lot of things started changing. My relationships, friendship dynamics, the places that I wanted to be, the conversations I was having, even the music I was listening to. I started to pay attention to what I was consuming, whether that was just mentally, the music I was listening to, the podcast, the TV shows, all of that. And when you first start doing the inner work, your morals, your values, your priorities, they change, right? My last episode, I even mentioned that, I'm even trying to work on modifying my closet and my sense of style. Because for me, I can either be fly or it can be sexy, right? And I'm trying to be less sexy, even though I do wear leggings and stuff. I mentioned that in the last episode, but just less revealing, right? Because when you do the inner work, it's like you don't got to show all those things off. And refer back to the old episode if you want me to dive deeper into that or you want to hear more about that. But when God starts calling you higher, he will begin to slowly remove things out of your life. Things that you really, really want, right? A lot of times I found myself like, dang, like God, like you taking this away too, you taking that away too. And I think you really do got to be connected spiritually in order to understand what I'm talking about. But the saying, you are what you attract. And for me, I wanted to attract healthiness, okay? Peace, greatness, faithfulness, holiness, right? And I'm not perfect and I don't strive to be, but I strive to be the best version of myself so I can attract that into my life. Because when your insides are trash, you normally are attracting trash. When your insides are not good, you normally are not choosing things or making decisions that are wise or the wisest, okay? So I can just think of one example, me going to the club. I had to go out for a friend's birthday, and when I went out, I just felt like, I could think of several examples, honestly, but I can just think of one instance. It's like, I don't even feel comfortable in the club no more. I truly feel like I have outgrown a lot of things. And when you start outgrowing things, it really it's like you got to grieve a piece of yourself, your past. And that's not easy. I spend a lot of quiet time with myself now. And when I think about the way that I used to be and the way that I am now, it's like, yeah, of course, I'm more at peace. I'm happy and life is going well for me. But you do think like, dang, like, it's kind of like you fighting with culture and what you called to be and what you supposed to be. And that could be a difficult thing. Even I'm going to say music. If I'm a huge music person. But I started to listen to music, right, y'all? Let's just say your favorite artist. Probably one of these artists, a few of these artists on this wall, right? But I used to just listen to music, and it's like you can listen to music without like consuming it. But a lot of times this music that we listen to can really seep in and get deep into your head, subconsciously. You don't even be tripping off of it. So I just started to watch what I was listening to, and maybe like now I listen to more of like R&B. I always flip flop on my gospel playlist. And I'm not saying that I don't turn on a little Drake or a little baby or whoever here and there, but now I just try to make sure I consume more R&B, more soft music, more encouraging music, even podcasts. I'm trying to listen to podcasts that are going to encourage me and uplift me, because I truly do want to live the life that God called me to live. And it's hard. It's not easy. Like I said, I'm a huge music fanatic. But it's like when you trying to grow and chase your dreams and really do it big, you got to fill your mind with things that are going to enlighten you, things that are going to uplift you. You got to make sure your phone conversations are positive, not too much gossiping, not too much worried about what the next person is doing, all kind of stuff. Just watching your surroundings. Like, y'all, now I don't even want to be caught in certain places, and that don't mean that, oh, I think I'm just better, but in reality I have outgrown it. I am better than certain environments, you know what I'm saying? And anytime that I went against that, anytime that I decide to go against that, I never end up having a good time. I don't feel like I can catch a vibe, in certain places no more. And it's really like you don't even want to put yourself in the way of that, because you could shoot. I'm from St. Louis, like all types of stuff can happen, So with growth, it comes the removal of things. And I feel like, especially on a spiritual note, when you are growing, God is trying to shed things that are not that are not a part of his plan for your life. And I don't know, y'all, it can be very, very tough. I look at myself now and it's like, dang, like I'm proud of the woman that I've become, but just a lot of things don't resonate with me anymore. Like, I ain't gonna lie, y'all, I used to be transparency moment. I used to follow a couple of these popular horoscope pages, right? And I literally used to go on those pages every single day. I would go on those pages like those pages were devotional. Like those pages were like my motivational word, as if these people knew more about my life or what was going to happen in my life than God did, than I did, And so one day something just kind of told me like, delete them horoscope pages, because do we have more faith in this passage that they typed up than God? It can get really deep, y'all, but like I just didn't want to keep attaching myself to the Aquarius, cuz I'm an Aquarius, okay? But y'all feel what I'm saying? It's like my mind just started changing. I just wanted better for myself. And yeah, it gets really tough. So if you are out there right now listening and you are going through a season of, you just have to know that when things are removed out of your life, he will make sure he restores, right? So if you feel like you losing friends, or if you feel like you're not as close to, or I don't know, if you feel like your sense of community has changed, God is doing all of that for a reason, and that he will replenish with things that are going to continue to uplift you, right? That are going to continue to help you get closer to him, right? And live out your true purpose. Because like I said in the beginning, we were not put here to live a mediocre life. And I'm just striving for success. I'm striving for greatness. I'm thinking generational wealth. I'm thinking, being legendary. I'm thinking about, when I leave here, I want people to be able to say, oh, 32, Jayla, like, she did this, and that for the community. She inspired me to do this, and that. She motivated so many different people. You feel me? So just know that growth is not easy, like I keep saying, but growth can be, I'm telling you, like when you truly work on yourself and make an investment on your self-development, when I tell you, you will start seeing all different type of blessings and opportunities flow in. Like, y'all, my platforms have truly transcended over the past year, okay? Over the past few months, especially, it's really been going really fast. And so I'm grateful, I'm thankful. And although I've shedded a lot of layers off of my life, I do feel like you don't ever want to run from your past, right? Because a lot of times when people change, they want to just ignore and erase everything they ever gone through or went through. But everything that you've gone through and experienced is all a part of your testimony. It's all a part of your story. And I like to tell people, like, you don't have to be perfect. You just need to strive to do better, right? And you might be able to talk to somebody who went through the same thing that you did. You might not have to be that same person, but you can encourage them to want to do better and be better. You know, a lot of times, especially with younger people, if you're trying to encourage the youth, like, they want to see something. They want to see, like, oh, okay, you're relatable. You went through what I went through. Or even, I feel like when I make my podcast, or when I make my motivational videos, a lot of people write me like, man, you really helped me. I felt like I could relate to you. So just hold on to, I'm going to say this. Don't ever try to get rid of your past and just like clear the slate as if you perfect and nothing ever happened to you. Use that to help motivate you to continue to push forward, but also use that to help share, how good God is, right? I don't know how to speak about my growth without incorporating God. So when you hear me talking about him, literally, y'all, he literally transformed me and he's still working on me, right? I still do certain things that I'm trying to still break certain habits that I don't really like, that I know God don't like. But every day I just try to strive for greatness. I put my best foot forward, And so, yeah, y'all, if you are out here working on yourself, trying to improve yourself, trying to become the best version of yourself, I want to encourage you right now today to keep going, keep striving, keep pushing, because this is not easy. Nobody talks about the growing process, because you literally are tempted every day to go back to what you used to do. But just know that if you made, God didn't bring you this far just to bring you this far. And if you turn back now, you might as well just keep trucking forward, because it's the same distance. You know what I'm saying? If you have come a long way. So always remember that you are not your circumstances. You are not what you have gone through. And you should be using what you have gone through, the person that you were, the people that you've dated, etc., to help you grow, and let that be your motivation. Right? So again, I thank y'all for tuning in to another episode. I know this was short and sweet and to the point, but I just wanted to dive into growing and encourage anybody right now that is working on themselves and just needed a little extra push to keep going. So, and of course, I have to close out with the And Now I Know segment. And now I know that growth is a great thing. And with evolving and with changes in your life, you're going to lose things, right? Certain layers of yourself are going to shed off, but you just got to keep going and keep pushing and know that God is going to fill your cup. So you might feel like, dang, where my friends going? Dang, where my family going? Dang, where my relationships, and this and that and then this. Just know that everything will be replenished. Your cup will be refilled, right? Thank you for watching another episode of the And Now I Know podcast. And be sure, if you have not already, to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button if you're watching on YouTube. And if you're listening on any streaming platform, be sure to hit that follow button and that download button, and tell a friend to tell a friend about the And Now I Know podcast with 32 Flavors. Thank y'all. I love y'all. And we're out.